Hey everyone, we are back today talking about more with LinkedIn. And I never get tired of talking about this subject because there are so many opportunities to leverage on LinkedIn and people are just not taking advantage of them. And so my goal is to help give you a few tips that you can use in just a few minutes a day to leverage the power of LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm Kathy Yergis. My company is BG3, and I said our mission is to help you leverage LinkedIn in your business. So today we're going to talk about how to do networking on LinkedIn. Okay, if you're chiming in, please let us know that you're here. Let us know where you're visiting from. Leave a comment and keep the questions coming, and I will either answer them here or they might be the topic of a future video. So there are really 10 tips that I want to share today about how to network on LinkedIn. And it's all about making connections without being salesy. Okay, we all have learned we don't go to networking events in person and actually, try to sell at that event. That's not what it's about. It's about meeting people. It's about listening to what their issues are. It's asking questions. It's, just getting to know people. And so how can we take what we do in person at networking events and translate that into LinkedIn? Okay. So the first is that you need to bring the whole package. Okay. You don't go to a networking event half there. Okay. Or if you go to a networking event and your mind is elsewhere and you're thinking about other things and you're not fully present, you don't get as much out of the networking event. So the same is true with LinkedIn. Make sure that your profile is 100% complete. And LinkedIn gives you a little rating on your profile and lets you know if you're a pro or an all-star. So make sure that you have everything filled in. According to LinkedIn's research, people get 40% or 40 times more opportunities. So 40x opportunities for those that have complete profiles and those that don't have complete profiles. So what are we talking about here? The main thing is making sure you have a photo, okay? Making sure that your headline is descriptive. Making sure that you have 2 or 3 work experiences shared and not just listing the titles, but actually listing a description about what you did at each of those positions. I often see people skip over their summary because it's kind of hard to write their summary. They don't know what to put there, but that's an integral part of your LinkedIn profile. So make sure it's complete. Fill out all the sections. The second tip is to think more than just in terms of your jobs, your paid jobs. Okay, you are a full package, and so whether it's volunteer work that you've done, projects that you've worked on, courses that you've taken, organizations that you support, include all of that information on LinkedIn because that is going to help people get to know you better and understand what motivates you and become able to have a deeper conversation with you. Okay, so bring your whole self on LinkedIn. The third tip is to use the inbox on LinkedIn. Okay, and you don't have to just start reaching out to strangers. The first thing that you should do when you start LinkedIn is to upload your email list, contact list. So you can export your contacts and your connections from email and import them into LinkedIn and start connecting with people you already know. All right, this is really critical because there's people in your inbox or in your email that you converse with all the time, but maybe they actually don't know what you do for a living. I always say this is true for myself, and sitting on the sidelines of my kids' soccer games, I have all of those parent emails. I talk to them every week, but there's a good percentage of them that actually don't know what I do for a living. And so by taking that email list of my personal connections and importing and connecting with them on LinkedIn, I now have more opportunity to talk to them about how I can help them in my business. Okay, so start there. Use the people that you already know. The fourth tip is to get personal. Okay, be authentic. on LinkedIn. Don't worry so much about everything being perfectly copywritten. It's going to read much better if you write it as though you would say it to somebody. So if your summary section reads more like a resume than a conversation that you would have with somebody over coffee, it might need some work. Okay. If you are using the default messages that LinkedIn suggests when you're congratulating somebody or when you're connecting with somebody, you need to change that up. You need to make them personal. Okay. Be authentic, bring your whole self, bring your true self, and get to know people. Okay. It's not just a game of numbers. It's really about building relationships. The fifth tip is to join groups. Okay, LinkedIn groups have gone through a variety of changes, and actually they're going through some more changes now, but LinkedIn groups still have a lot of value because that's where you can network and join conversations with like-minded individuals. So you might join a LinkedIn group related to an organization that you support, one of industry thought leaders, one of peers, one where your target market is more likely to hang out. So you're going to have a variety of groups, and you'll be able to get a variety of perspectives and offer your services in each of those situations. So join some LinkedIn groups. The sixth tip kind of relates to that, and it's to lend a hand, be of service. So networking in person or online is all about how you can learn more about people and serve them. Okay. And so figure out on LinkedIn where you can be of service. If somebody is posting a question, then if you have the answer, or if you can refer them to somebody who has the answer, chime into that conversation. Each post on LinkedIn is the opportunity to start a conversation. So see where you can lend a hand or help them out, be of service to those individuals, and that will just start becoming the norm, and your brand will reflect the fact that you are very helpful and of service to people and that you have value to add. The next tip is to update your status consistently. Okay, so post an update or publish an article or engage in posts that other people say, but be consistent and be active on LinkedIn. Okay, just like networking, if you go to the same networking event each month with the same group, you are going to reap more benefits than if you just pop in once every 6 months. You are going to build that relationship. So be consistent. The same applies with LinkedIn. Be consistent with your efforts. The next tip is to request opportunities to talk to people. Okay, not opportunities to sell to them. So ideally, as you're building a relationship, you're going to look for opportunities that you want to talk to people, whether it's to interview them about something going on in the industry or seeing how you might be able to help them. That's not the same as selling to them. So think of opportunities and reach out to people who you would just like to do a networking call with, a 15-minute phone conversation, and send them a personalized message over LinkedIn and get them comfortable enough with you through your interactions with LinkedIn that they'll say yes to that phone call. Okay, so reach out to them. And when you do that, it leads to our ninth tip. Ninth tip is do your homework. So it's not enough to just say, I want to learn more about your business, because if you truly want to learn about their business, you can research online and you can research their website and you can do your homework, and you should do your homework so that when you start that phone conversation, you are coming to the table with information, you already know them, and you can have a viable, relevant, meaningful conversation with them. So do your homework and take a look at what their interests are, what organizations they're involved in, their work experience, and that's going to lead to things that you can talk about when you get on the phone. And the final tip is to step away from the computer. Okay, LinkedIn is great for networking, but business and sales isn't going to happen online. It's going to happen in person. So reach out for the phone call. Figure out where the person is going to be, if they're going to be at a conference or a networking event where you can meet in person, and use LinkedIn as a way to say, hey, I'm going to be at that conference too. Can we meet up for lunch, or can we meet up for a drink after the day is over? So reach out to people, send them an actual email outside of LinkedIn, or send them something by snail mail. There's lots of ways to reach out to them offline. So do your homework, be personal, be authentic, bring your true self to the table, and you will do great with networking on LinkedIn. I look forward to hearing about your results, and actually, I'd love to talk to you. So use the link in this post to schedule a call with me. I want to hear how it's going. I want to hear about your struggles. I want to hear about your successes, and let's come up with a plan to use LinkedIn to help you launch your business and grow it. Thanks.